Sony is constantly pissing off their consumers. They are always doing something that infuriates the players that they have, the dedicated fans that absolutely love their products. But now we're finding out that a large numbers of legitimate PSN accounts are randomly being banned by Sony. I have a few different things that I want to show off, but before we get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, follow me on social media, and consider supporting through Patreon or via YouTube memberships. Now, even the best companies face issues, and I understand that when you are a massive company the size of Sony, sometimes things slip through the cracks, but unfortunately, that does not mean that we should forgive them or we should just let it go. And now we have this brand new situation where a large number of legitimate PSN accounts are being randomly banned by Sony. Now, I talk all the time about digital media and how at the flip of a switch, a company can ban your account and you can lose access to all of the products you've purchased and not be able to access them anymore. And this is what happens, is tiny things turn into massive issues, because you would think that if a handful of legitimate PSN accounts were randomly being banned, customer service would help these individuals out and it would be solved very easily, but that is actually not what is happening, and people are being told that you're shit out of luck. So it says a large number of legitimate players have been slapped with permanent PSN account bans by Sony, and players are scrambling to figure out why. Reports first emerged last night, and this article went up yesterday, with frustrated players complaining that Sony support agents are being unhelpful as usual. Now, the point of having, customer service is to help you. You are supposed to be able to reach out to these individuals and get situations resolved pretty easily, but that isn't happening here. It says, however, rest assured, the issue seems to be on PlayStation Network's backend, but this is not a situation to be rest assured at, because first of all, none of these situations have been resolved. None of these instances have been fixed. The Sony customer service is telling people, well, your account was banned for violating the terms of service, but that is the only piece of information that they have gotten. It says this account is permanently suspended from PlayStation Network due to violations of the TOS and user agreement, and Sony support agents initially pinned the blame on concerned players, telling them that they are out of luck because they must have done something to earn the ban. These are the dangers of an all-digital future, because we have companies, putting more AI into their, customer service chats. Like, oh, if I went to PlayStation Network and I open up the little chat box, they try to have this AI help you, and then it takes forever to get to an actual agent. But then you also have agents who are saying things like, well, you simply violated the TOS and the user agreement, so you are out of luck, you must have earned the ban, which is absurd, because then, even if it is a bug, even if it is a glitch on Sony's end, that means that your account is permanently banned until they finally decide, oh, we have enough of these instances to call an accident, and that could take days, that could take weeks. I mean, this is still not resolved, and it has been days at this point, and who knows when it will get resolved, if it even will. I mean, now that there are articles going up on the situation, Sony will probably prioritize it, but imagine if you were one of the few people who had something like this happen and there were not articles written about it. You would have all of this access completely taken away from you, simply because, again, of a bug, because that is what it sounds like, that it is simply a bug, that this is, not because players are, doing something to earn the ban, but unfortunately, because, again, Sony has not responded to it, these players are now in limbo. And of course, I just recently talked about Sony and a massive situation. This video will be linked down below, but in further making the case for physical media, Sony had announced that PlayStation users will actually lose access to legally purchased Discovery Channel content, which is infuriating, because if I pay for a product, that is mine. That is my ownership, that means that you should not be able to take it away from me. But that is what is happening. And of course, Sony is not refunding people. Sony isn't really telling people a way to either get their money back or maybe even get a credit on their account. So I could have spent hundreds of dollars on Discovery Channel content on their platform, and it would be instantly ripped away from me, and there's nothing that I can do about it. And they thought that this was acceptable. I understand that there are a lot of Sony fans out there. PlayStation is a great platform, do not get me wrong, but over the years they have definitely stumbled when it's come to customer service and actually just listening to their audiences. I mean, I talk a lot about censorship on the channel, and unfortunately Sony is one of the major players when it comes to censoring developers and forcing them to tone down their content. But we also have situations like this. They are ripping away legally purchased content simply because a license ran out. And I get it, right? Licenses run out all the time, but if I purchased a piece of content, I purchased a product, you should either be completely refunding me or at the very least crediting my account. People could have spent hundreds of dollars on this content, and now they're getting it completely taken away from them, which is just a ridiculous situation. And of course, since this, PSN account article went up and a few articles went up, people have been talking about this, saying things like, yikes, they have great systems but not on handling support. I mean, it's very true. You would think that they would have customer service who would be maybe not top of the line, but at least useful, at least helpful, and that's not happening. People are also saying things like randomly, as in for a very good reason. Yeah, they are being, not very helpful when it comes to actually explaining what these bans are, most likely because, again, it's a glitch and they do not have a reason and their system's not going to say a reason. But that's another issue in of itself. If I am getting banned from a platform, I deserve the very specific reason why, and Sony is not doing that. They're simply saying violating the terms of service. Now, I do think that this is going to be resolved in the next few days, maybe even the next week or two. At least I am hoping. But again, this just highlights the issue with an all digital future when you've got companies trying to, present you with this AI first to talk to resolve your issues, and then it takes forever to actually get to customer service, and then customer service does not help you. And this in combination with the recent, situation where they are taking away access to legally purchased Discovery Channel content, it just seems that Sony cannot get themselves out of the middle of controversies right now. If there is an update to this anytime soon, I of course will leave it in the description and the pinned comment. I'm hoping that there will be a resolution soon, but only time will tell. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this and of course found it important and informative, make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.